All right, so everyone's always talking about the cloud, right?
Right.
But we're not talking about the weather today.
Yeah.
We're diving into cloud engineering as a career, and it's seriously blowing up right now.
It is.
We're going to use RoleCatcher to help us figure this whole thing out. So if you've ever wondered what a cloud engineer actually does,
Yeah.
get ready because we are about to find out.
It's interesting how, like, so many people use cloud services every single day,
Oh, yeah.
but they don't really know what goes into making those services work.
Right.
That's where understanding the role of the cloud engineer is so important.
Totally. It's way more than just put it on the cloud, you know?
Yeah.
RoleCatcher actually breaks down the work.
Yes, they do. And it's really cool. Like, imagine a company wants to move all their stuff, all their data and everything from their old servers.
Right, like the physical ones.
Yeah, the big clunky ones to the cloud, which
Yeah.
is obviously more efficient. That's where the cloud engineer comes in because they design that whole system. They figure out how the data is stored, how the apps will work,
Right.
how to keep everything safe and secure. They do it all.
So are they like coding ninjas and strategic masterminds all in one?
They have to be
Yeah.
because they need to solve any problems that pop up, manage the resources,
Oh, right, right.
and constantly be learning the newest technology
That
because
changes all the time.
all the time. It never stops. So you got to be learning all the time, adapting, and that's a challenge, but it's also kind of exciting, you know.
It's got to be. RoleCatcher makes a really big deal about the constant learning.
They do, and for good reason.
It's not like learn one thing and you're good to go.
No, no, no. Imagine if you spent like a year learning some specific program and then it's like obsolete.
Oh, man.
Happens all the time. That's just how it is.
Okay, let's be real. What are the pros and cons of this job?
Oh, yeah. The good and the bad.
RoleCatcher talks about both.
They do,
Mm-hmm.
which is great. Okay, so good stuff first. Cloud engineers are in super high demand, like crazy high demand,
Which means...
which means, you guessed it, great salaries,
Touching.
amazing chances to move up in your career, work with the latest and greatest technology,
Yeah, I was going to say, the tech must be amazing.
cutting edge stuff. And you can often work kind of on your own hours, be flexible.
Which is huge these days.
Huge. But RoleCatcher also wants you to know about the not so fun stuff.
Lay it on me.
Like, because you're always learning new stuff,
Yeah.
it can feel like you're always behind, you know.
Right, right.
You've got to really love learning to do this job.
And it's a lot of pressure.
Yeah,
You're managing these huge systems that, like, companies rely on.
totally. And if something goes wrong, everyone's freaking out,
Yeah.
and they're all looking at you to fix it.
Yikes.
So yeah, it can be stressful. And sometimes you got to work late.
So it's not all sunshine and rainbows,
Not all the time.
but then again, what job is?
True, true.
It's about finding that thing you love, that thing you're good at.
For sure.
And RoleCatcher actually breaks down, like, all the different stages of being a cloud engineer.
Oh, yeah, they do, which is super helpful. They show how much responsibility you have and how much time you put in, like, throughout your career.
Which changes, obviously, depending on if you're just starting out or if you've been doing this for 20 years.
Totally. Like, someone just starting out might help move stuff to the cloud or, like, fix little problems.
Okay.
But someone with tons of experience might be in charge of a whole team or designing a cloud system for, like, a Fortune 500 company.
That's wild. So you can really see where you fit in, figure out if all the hard work is worth it for what you want to do.
And speaking of figuring things out, a lot of people listening probably want to know how you even become a cloud engineer.
Right, like what do you have to study in school, that kind of thing. Now, this is where it gets interesting.
Okay.
You'd think you need some crazy degree, like in robots, to even think about cloud engineering.
Right, right.
But RoleCatcher says, not so fast.
Yeah, they have this really down-to-earth list of degrees that could work. The big message is there's no one right way to become a cloud engineer.
Oh, really?
You see the usual suspects like computer science,
Of course, yeah.
software engineering,
Sure.
but then they mention data science,
Even math.
math.
Come
Come
on.
on, really?
I know, right?
Yeah.
But it kind of makes sense when you think about what those subjects teach you. Critical thinking, problem solving,
Okay.
and a really good understanding of how computers work. That's what this job is all about.
Yeah, designing those cloud systems, fixing problems when they come up,
Which they always do.
keeping up with the tech.
Exactly. And RoleCatcher takes it a step further. They don't just leave you hanging with a degree and say, good luck.
So they actually give you advice on how to get real-world experience.
Oh, yeah, because that's what really matters in this field, practical experience.
Yeah.
One of their top recommendations is setting up your own personal cloud environment.
Really? So, like, build your own little cloud, pretty much. Platforms like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud have these free tiers you can play around with.
That's awesome.
You can build your own projects, break things, fix them, really get to know how these systems actually work.
Way better than just reading about it.
Way better. And while you're at it, they suggest contributing to open source projects.
Oh, right. I've heard about those. So you're working with, like, experienced developers.
Yeah. And building a portfolio you can show off to potential employers.
So you're learning, and you're showing what you can do.
Exactly. Two birds, one stone. Now let's talk about something everyone loves.
Hit me.
Interviews.
Oh, no. Everyone's favorite.
I know, right? But RoleCatcher has your back. Seriously. They have a database of, get this, over 120,000 interview questions.
120,000.
That's a lot of questions.
That's like a whole career's worth of interview questions.
It shows you how important it is to really get ready. But the best part is, they don't just give you these generic answers. They have really specific, insightful questions that you'll probably be asked. They get that it's not just about knowing the technical stuff.
Oh, so you have to, like, explain how you think.
Exactly. For example, one question is like, tell me about a tough project you worked on with the cloud.
Oh.
Or how do you make sure everything keeps running smoothly if something goes wrong?
Wow.
You got to really know your stuff, explain your thought process.
You can't just BS your way through that.
Nope. And here's where RoleCatcher's AI stuff comes in handy. Things like their Copilot AI.
I was wondering about that. Like, how can AI actually help you with interviews?
So imagine having like a personal coach who watches you practice and then gives you feedback.
That would be amazing.
That's kind of what Copilot AI does. You record yourself answering practice questions, and the AI checks out how you're doing.
Seriously.
It analyzes what you say, how you say it, even your body language.
Oh, wow. It's not just about, like, saying the right words.
No way. You
Yeah.
got to remember, you're not a robot. You're a person talking to another person. You got to show confidence, be clear, let your personality shine through a little.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Now, let's say you totally nail the interview prep,
Right?
but there's a million other qualified people out there.
Right.
What does RoleCatcher have to help you stand out from the crowd?
They've got some tricks up their sleeve. Remember how we talked about the job search being overwhelming and kind of chaotic?
Yeah, for sure.
They bring some order to the chaos. They have this really cool tool called RoleCatcher.capture.
I've heard about this. People are raving about it. Tell me more.
Imagine having this magic button that bookmarks your dream jobs as you find them.
Oh, wow.
No more copying and pasting links trying to remember where you saw that perfect opportunity.
That's a game changer.
It's a lifesaver.
Okay, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
But what about, like, seeing the big picture of your job search?
Yes. It's easy to feel lost.
Really lost.
RoleCatcher has another awesome feature called Board View, and it lets you visualize your whole job search journey.
Okay, now you're speaking my language. I'm a visual person for sure. So how does this board view thingy work?
Picture this. It's like a virtual whiteboard where you can put all your saved jobs,
Yeah.
see how far along you are with each one,
All right.
and decide which ones are most important to you. You can see if you just applied, if you've had an interview, even if you got an offer.
So you know exactly where you are with every job.
Exactly. It's like a project management system just for your job hunt.
That's genius.
Right. And speaking of putting your best foot forward, let's not forget about the CV.
Oh, the dreaded CV.
It's how you make that crucial first impression.
And getting it right can be so stressful. Does RoleCatcher offer any help with making your CV perfect for a cloud engineering role? They do.
They do, and it's really cool, actually. They use AI to give you feedback. You upload your CV,
Okay.
and it compares it to what the job you're going for is looking for.
Okay.
Gives you a score
Okay.
and tells you what parts need work.
So you're not just left wondering if it's good enough.
Exactly. It's like having a career coach,
Right.
but AI.
But AI, exactly.
And the best part is, it doesn't just tell you what's wrong, it suggests ways to make it better.
Oh, really? Like what?
Like, it might tell you to add certain keywords,
Okay.
highlight skills you have that could transfer to this new job,
Right.
maybe rephrase some stuff to make it pack more punch, even point out skills you didn't even realize were important for the job.
So it's basically like having a secret weapon to help you get noticed.
Totally. No more guessing games.
This is all amazing. I feel like we've just scratched the surface of what RoleCatcher can do.
It's a lot.
But before we wrap up our cloud engineering deep dive,
Okay.
one last thing. RoleCatcher has all these incredible features, especially the AI ones. Is that stuff free or do you have to pay?
That's a great question, and I'm sure a lot of people are wondering that. The good news is RoleCatcher has a ton of free resources. You can check out their career guides, Their interview tips, even try out some of the basic CV analysis tools,
Wow.
all for free.
So you can really get a feel for what they offer before you commit to anything.
Exactly. But to get the really good AI features,
Mhm.
like the personalized CV stuff, the super detailed interview practice with Copilot AI,
Right.
the game-changing suggestions we talked about, you'd need to subscribe to their Copilot AI service.
That makes sense, kind of like upgrading to the deluxe package,
Yeah,
especially if you're serious about landing that dream cloud engineering job.
for sure.
Okay, folks, there you have it. We've explored what it really means to be a cloud engineer.
We sure have.
And thanks to RoleCatcher, we've got the inside scoop, the tools,
The tools.
everything. We've busted some myths, talked about why you always got to be learning new
You
stuff,
got to stay sharp.
and of course, all the awesome career opportunities out there.
The opportunity.
We've covered it all. How to get the right education, nail those interviews,
Yes.
make your CV shine, even how to use AI to your advantage.
It's like having a secret weapon.
It really is. So, as we wrap things up, I'm curious, what part of cloud engineering excites you the most? What new skills are you ready to learn on your journey? Resources like RoleCatcher are out there to help you every step of the way. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and keep reaching for those clouds.